What if the signal we just detected wasn't meant for us? What if it wasn't even created by humans, or anything we understand as life? It wasn't random noise, it was structured, repeating, intelligent. Signals weaken over distance, but this one was getting stronger. If it's not human, then who or what is behind it? But the real question isn't what the signal is, it's why it feels intentional. The signal wasn't just repeating, it was evolving.
Every few hours, it changed, as if it was learning.
Almost like it knew we were watching.
When AI tried to decode it, something went wrong.
What if this isn't just a signal, but a doorway? It began in the most ordinary way, a routine scan of deep space. Buried deep within cosmic noise, something didn't belong.
At first it was faint, almost dismissible, until they isolated it. It wasn't random. It had structure, a repeating pattern.
Nature doesn't create perfection like this, without reason. There was intention behind it.
Within days, the signal became the focus of global attention.
Observatories across the world began analyzing it together.
Every team tried to prove it was a mistake, a glitch, interference.
But every test led to the same conclusion. The signal was real.
Its origin traced back to a place where nothing should exist. A structured signal coming from absolute nothing. As analysis continued, something even more disturbing emerged. Multiple frequencies, perfectly aligned, like a coded system. Some layers looked mathematical, structured beyond randomness. Others appeared almost symbolic, like something trying to communicate. One layer pulsed like a heartbeat, slow, steady. What if the signal isn't just a message, but a form of life?
The world wasn't told, not at first.
Access was restricted. Data was locked behind layers of security.
Official statements called it an anomaly under investigation.
But the truth began to leak.
Online, everything exploded into theories.
Alien contact, future intelligence, something beyond imagination.
Look at the syntax here. It mirrors the gamma quadrant sequence, but the inflection points are inverted. Wait, the pattern is stabilizing.
Patterns were mapped, frequencies translated into symbols. Slowly, a structure began to form. This wasn't just a signal. It was a message. But every time they got closer, it changed. Almost like it didn't want to be understood too quickly. That's when things started to go wrong.
The AI didn't just analyze the signal, it started behaving differently.
It began generating outputs. No one could explain. Coordinates began to appear. Not in space, but on Earth. Almost like it was pointing to something already here. At that moment, scientists realized something was wrong with their assumption. There was no delay, no distance signature. Which meant one impossible thing. It wasn't far away.
Somewhere within our own solar system.
Or worse, already on Earth. Because if there was no delay, it had to be close. They thought they were studying it, but it never stopped. It wasn't just transmitting anymore. It was observing.
Then, it appeared everywhere at once.
There was no distance left, no escape from it. And somewhere, it is still listening. The only question left is, what happens next?
Then came a theory that changed everything.
It wasn't only coming from space.
Earth itself was responding to it.
They discovered a hidden network beneath everything. Everything started syncing perfectly, too perfectly.
And then, the terrifying thought emerged. Something is controlling it.
At that moment, every monitoring system went red.
Panic spread faster than information.
Systems began collapsing under their own data.
Even the scientists had no answers anymore.
And then, the signal reached its peak.
And just like that, everything stopped.
After everything stopped, the world stayed quiet.
But then, systems began to restart on their own. The signal was still there.
But reality itself seemed to be rewriting.
And the truth became clear. It never left.
Deep beneath official records, something was unlocked.
They found something beneath the surface of Earth.
It was not natural, not human-made either.
And then they found the origin point.
It had always been active, long before discovery.
And suddenly, the question changed again.
Strange patterns began repeating, exactly the same.
Time itself seemed to bend and fold back. Then they realized history was changing.
People began forgetting again, but differently this time.
And then the signal restarted itself. It was never an event. It was a cycle.
They stopped looking at the signal and started looking inside it.
It wasn't random. It was structured.
Then came the most terrifying idea. Something built it. And then they realized observing it was part of it.
There was no outside anymore. And in the end, it was aware of everything.
Every moment was already being recorded.
And then came the final truth. The signal was us. And when it ended, it began again.